Kuima kamba chilungamo choka.
Nkhani za straight. Nkhani zomwe zimadzudzula dziko.
Chimene chimandisangalatsa kwambiri ndi sports.
Timadziwa zimene zikukhalira mdziko.
Imene imandisangalatsa pa Zodiak. Ndi exclusive. Ndi Joabu Chakaza.
Amandisangalatsa kwambiri ndi Daniel Mawawa.
Ndimaonera Zodiak fresh.
Ndachegula channel cha Zodiak. Proto segmentera.
Welcome to the news on Zodiac. With me, Joab Frank Chakaza, the headlines. The Ministry of Health says it's running short of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine doses. Graph for new COVID-19 cases shoots to 58 from 21 cases in 24 hours. Experts call for serious enforcement on control measures. PAC recommends for a review of laws to give MPs more authority in revising budgetary allocations after cluster meetings. In sports, analysts call for solemn action on increased cases of abandoned matches. Now, the news in detail. The Ministry of Health has disclosed that it is running short of AstraZeneca vaccines in the country, admitting that the situation is forcing it to drastically reduce the number of administration centers across the country. However, it says measures are in place to replenish the stock of the doses by the end of July. In the meantime, arrangements have been put in place to record doses from places of low demand to restock areas of high demand. Speaking in an interview on Tuesday, Ministry spokesperson Joshua Malango says that the challenge is due to India's suspension of exportation of the vaccine. We have a report filed by Winston Kaimina.
During our visit to a number of centers where the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine is being administered in Lilongwe, we found long queues of people waiting to receive the jab. Such centers include Capitol Hill, Bwaila Hospital, and Area 18 Health Center. At the health center, we found people waiting for some health workers who had gone to collect doses of the vaccine at Kamuzu Central Hospital as the facility had run out of the doses. One of the people who were waiting, Kingsley Banda from Area 47 in Lilongwe, asked authorities to put in place measures that will ensure people have easy access to the vaccine.
I have arrived here about 30 minutes ago. They have told us that they do not have the doses.
Ministry of Health spokesperson Joshua Malango says there is low supply of the vaccine as the country expects to receive more doses by the end of next month.
We are running low of the doses. Remember, we received under COVAX 360,000 doses, and we have had a donation of 50,000 from India. We have had 102,000 which we did receive from African Union. In total, we have had close to 512,000 doses, excluding on that 19,000, you remember, got expired. So we haven't received any more supplies. As of now, we are running low of supplies. And the COVAX, due to, as you know, India is one of the biggest manufacturers of AstraZeneca, and their country, the leadership there have stopped the exportation of vaccines.
This is happening amid fears that the country may experience the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic following recent developments in countries such as India. This is Winston Kaimira reporting for Zodiac in Lilongwe.
Meanwhile, health experts have warned that the country will suffer more in the third wave of COVID-19 if citizens continue to relax on adherence to control measures against the virus. Dr. Gama Bandawe and Mphatso Ngulube says every citizen has the responsibility to champion adherence to measures which government set up to curb transmission. These remarks come after Malawi registered 58 new coronavirus cases on Monday, after months of registering less than 20 cases in a day. John Boka unified this report.
For the first time, after several months of registering zero or single-digit positive cases of coronavirus, Malawi has on Monday recorded 58 new coronavirus positive cases. Experts say this is not a good sign for the country. Virologist Dr. Gama Bandawe says the country is at the foot of a third wave of COVID-19. He warns if people continue to flout said COVID-19 preventive measures, Malawians will perish. Dr. Bandawe hopes vaccinating more people could also save the situation.
The most powerful, potent, and effective tool that we have in our toolbox is the vaccines. We have to really step up and increase and improve the amount of vaccines that we're administering.
On her part, public health expert Mphatso Ngulube says this should be a wake-up call for Malawians to reflect on how they are behaving during this pandemic period. She told us people should have the same fear they had at the beginning of the pandemic and strictly adhere to the said preventive measures. Minister of Health Kumbidze Kanodo Chiponda, in a statement yesterday, emphasized on the need for citizens to continue adhering to COVID-19 preventive measures. Malawi has this far registered 34,564 positive cases of coronavirus, 1,159 deaths, and 32,753 recoveries. 791 people have been vaccinated against the virus. For Zodiak, this is John Paul Kayuni.
And former Malawi President Bakir Muluzi on Tuesday received his second dose of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. Muluzi has expressed concern of the low uptake of the vaccine amid fears of a third wave. Blantyre District Director of Health and Social Services, Gift Kawalazira, has arrayed fears of the virus outrunning the vaccination exercise, as the district has recorded an average of more than 15% in the last fortnight. Alex Banda reports.
Former Malawi President Dr. Bakir Muluzi has on Tuesday received his second dose of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. He is, however, appalled with the low figures of Malawians getting interest and receiving their vaccines. Less than 400,000 Malawians have received their vaccines since the rollout of the exercise in March this year.
There were many things which were being said to say, oh, if you get vaccinated, this is going to happen, which is not true. All right. And I think since you are from the media, please help us to remove this misinformation which is amongst our people. It's true, the numbers are not impressive at all. So the message which you would like to convey to the people of Malawi, please don't listen to this misinformation. It's important that we must go and get this vaccine.
Director of Health for Blantyre District, Dr. Gift Kawalazira, is equally concerned with the rising new infections in the district, currently at 15%. He is concerned that the coronavirus might actually outrun the vaccination exercise currently underway.
But as of today, as I'm speaking to you, we have got over 2,000 doses in Blantyre, spread across all our health facilities, and people will be assisted.
Dr. Kawalazira and health officials in the country are concerned with the low figures of Malawians and others getting their vaccines. The country is actually running low on the vaccines to vaccinate Malawians and others that are interested to get their jabs. This is also coming at a time when the world is facing a shortage of the vaccines. For Zodiak and Blantyre, this is Alex Banda.
Malawi College of Health Sciences students have petitioned Parliament through the Education Committee to have Parliamentary Act 2 of 2015 reviewed and have them included on the list of beneficiaries of student loans. President of the students' body, Davidson Mkandawire, says lack of access to loans has left many deserving students stranded, as they cannot manage to pay fees on their own, which is at 550,000 kwacha per year. The Center for Democracy and Economic Development Initiatives, CDEDI, has accused police of brutality in what it calls landless people in Mulanje and Cholo districts. CDEDI Executive Director Sylvester Namiwa told journalists in Blantyre on Tuesday that scores of people in the districts have been left with scars in the course of claiming land from estate owners. As CDEDI announces demonstrations on Thursday, National Police spokesperson James Kalatera says police will investigate the allegations. Having Jaramano has filed this report.
We at CDEDI have been prompted to lead this
Center for Democracy and Economic Development CDEDI Executive Director Sylvester Namiwa says people of Mulanje and Cholo are living in fear as they sustain injuries from police brutality. Namiwa told media in Blantyre on Tuesday that the police beat up the communities that are organized in groups to reclaim land, which he says was grabbed by estate owners. During the press briefing, Namiwa came with some of the people who showed the media the scars, which they claim are a result of police brutality.
As I'm talking to you now, people are serving jail terms, others are out on bail, others have got scars, others have got their bodies deformed, going to an extent of a police officer using a banga knife is unheard of, unwarranted. So we want to tell the nation, we want to tell the world, and whoever may dare to listen, that we are tired of this police brutality.
National Police spokesperson James Kadadzera says police will investigate the allegations. CDEDI has since announced it will hold demonstrations in Cholo and Mulanje to share the plight of people in the two districts who it says are landless people.
At least 100 women with disabilities have in the past 4 months reported to have been victims of various forms of violence in the area of Traditional Authority Chilooko in Chisi district. The women are beneficiaries of a special project by CSOs working under the Spotlight Initiative, which are training women in reporting violence. We have more details in this report.
Statistics in the area of Traditional Authority Chilooko in Chisi points to an increase in number of violence cases, although the figures points to an upward trend. Director of a local NGO in the area, Chisi Evangelical Churches Consortium for Social Services, Matthias Chindungwa, says he's not worried. According to him, this is a statement of a work that the organization has been doing of encouraging women to report violence. Aside from the trainings that these women have been exposed to, they have also been recipients of a number of economic empowerment activities. Daliso Gonkwe is one of the beneficiaries. Fighting of violence under an initiative dubbed Spotlight is receiving a full backing from traditional chiefs in the area. Gift to Pimba, ZBS, Chisi.
You're watching the news here on Zodiac. We'll be back with more after this.
Kungonjezera mayunits ATNM kuyambira 200 kwacha kapena kuposera pamenepo mutha kukhala mmodzi mwa mamilioneya mu TNM Tikolole promotion. Koma mukaonjezera mayunits ndi 100 kwacha kapena kuposerapo mudzilandira mabonus oyimbira foni, SMS kapena data pompo.
TNM, always with you.
If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
Are you thinking of property investment in Malawi? Wait a minute. You mean you have never heard about Housing Investment and Development Cooperative, HIDICO? Come on. Buy shares, be a member, and join investment-minded Malawians living all over the world. You can get affordable plots and build a house of your dream at your comfort. We offer housing loans to our members, modern house plans, construction services, and we have plots in several cities in the country. have the opportunity to build a home in new upmarket residential areas developed by HIDCO. For inquiries, call 0992 020 745 or 0998 351 313. Don't miss the only chance to own a company that sorts out your housing and investment solutions. Join HIDCO today.
HIDCO, Housing Investment and Development Cooperative.
Welcome back. Here are the top stories once again. The Minister of Health says is running short of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine doses. Graph for new COVID-19 cases shoots to 58 from 21 cases in 24 hours. Experts call for serious enforcement on control measures. PAC recommends a review of laws to give MPs more authority in revising budgetary allocations after cluster meetings. In sports, analysts call for solemn action in increased cases of abandoned matches. Moving on with the news. Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, PAC, has recommended a review of laws to allow parliamentarians to have powers to further revise budgetary allocations upwards after cluster meetings. Chair for the committee, Shadrack Namalomba, says this is to ensure maximum benefits of Parliament to Malawians, saying this is from an observation that the Minister of Finance rarely takes on board inputs made by the MPs in cluster committees. Andrew Viano was at Parliament and sent us this report. We do apologize, we don't have that report for now. The leadership of the Returnees and Ex-Political Detainees Association in the country has threatened to hold a vigil at the OPC if the Peace and Unity Bill, which will facilitate payment of their compensation, is not tabled and passed in Parliament. Addressing the media in Lilongwe, the Executive Committee members, led by their chairperson Sangwani Mkandawire, said they are frustrated by government's delays to compensate them. But Minister of Civic Education and National Unity, Timothy Ntambo, has assured the returnees and ex-political detainees that government was determined to resolve their issues. Madam Supir with the details.
The Returnees and Ex-Political Detainees Association claims that it was told that the Peace and Unity Bill had been finalized for tabling in February this year. According to its Publicity Secretary Alan Kondowe, Minister of Civic Education and National Unity Timothy Ntambo, during a meeting they had, assured them that the bill would facilitate the establishment of a commission that would deal with past atrocities, including compensation.
The government from Mutambo promised us as to say our issue is going to be taken to Parliament. In February session, nothing came out. We went back to Mr. Mutambo to explain to us as to why this bill is not in the Parliament. Eventually, Mr. Mutambo said no, there were some logistical things which were supposed to be tackled. I'm promising in June that thing is going to be there. Now, this is June, the Parliament is sitting there. But looking at the older papers which are in Parliament, our issue is not there. How long have we waited here? 25 years. Coming back from exile, coming back home here, nothing tangible has come out.
But Ntambo has asked the association to be patient as government was taking the matter seriously as well.
The members of the association should be assured that the government of Lazarus Chakwera treats issues of past atrocities seriously, and that this was one of its campaign promises. This is an effort by this government to engage with the nation in a critical national dialogue on the past atrocities, which will lead to the closure of all the issues which remained unimplemented by the compensation tribunal. This was even highlighted by His Excellency in his first SONA.
According to Kondowe, there are over 23,519 returnees and ex-political detainees that need to be compensated. For Zodiak, this is Madalito Piri reporting.
The Zomba Chief Resident Magistrate Austin Banda says he will, on 9 July, indicate the day he will deliver his ruling in a case involving former Commissioner of the Malawi Electoral Commission, Linda Kunje. The state yesterday said that it has finalized parading witnesses in the case Kunje and her driver are answering, bordering on obstructing presidential convoy. Emmanuel Jubana reports.
The last 3 witnesses were subjected to total scrutiny by defense lawyers. The defense wanted to tear apart evidence presented before the court. The last witness, Johnny Kubanza, said that the potential failure to obey orders showed that there was an intention to cause harm to the president. One of the defense lawyers wondered why the two have been charged using the penal code, yet the matter is traffic-related in nature. Levison Mangano, officer in charge responsible for prosecution, said both the state and defense are supposed to present written submissions by 9th July, when the Chief Resident Magistrate for Zomba is expected to indicate a day when he will deliver a ruling on whether the former Electoral Commission Commissioner has a case to answer or not. For ZBS in Zomba, this is Emmanuel Chibana.
And now let's look at sports. Local sports analysts are calling for Sulom to intervene in a number of increased cases of abandoned matches due to misunderstandings in the TNM Super League matches. The analysts Pare Chinyama and George Kaudza Masina have cautioned that failure to address the situation now would set a wrong precedence. Recently, matches involving 4 Super League teams have been abandoned as teams protested penalty decisions by referees. Well, that's about what we had time for in this edition of the news. Before we go, let's look at the headlines one more time. The Minister of Health says is running short of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine doses. Graph for new COVID-19 cases shoots to 58 from 21 cases in 24 hours. Experts call for serious enforcement on control measures. PAC recommends a review of laws to give MPs more authority in revising budgetary allocations after cluster meetings. In sports, analysts call for Sulom action in increased cases of abandoned matches. Visit our website, zodiacmalawi.com, for more news. My name is Joe Frank Chakaza. Thanks for watching.